again. We know this is what we're meant to do. So we wake up, put our feet on the floor, go and conquer the day like a warrior, like warriors. Cause that's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax and focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and life. That's right, that's right. No need to panic anymore. We got lots of support and an army of warriors by our side. We fight the good fight when we unite. We fight the good fight when we unite. Cause that's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax and focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and
Bum, and we live and direct to the world. Hello, everybody, and welcome to your favorite Monday afternoon session of the Coffee Shop Conversation Show. With me, James Brown, your voiceover with soul, coming to you live from the UK, on my side at least, and with my co-host Sondra Ray, as always. How are you, Sondra? Nice to see you again.
I am good. Trying to stay warm. It's very, 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 very cold.
You can turn the heating on, Sondra.
I have the heater on. I have a thermal and a sweatshirt. The layers.
It's been
Layers are
expensive
great.
over here. I'll tell you that now, so I can understand if you wouldn't. But yeah,
Oh
America.
no, the heat's on. Trust me, the heat's on. It's just cold. It's cold. It's cold.
Sounds like you live in Canada.
Michigan, Canada, Permelia, not
Very
too
close.
far.
Yeah.
You know, pretty close. Mr. Brown, what are we talking about today?
Time management.
Yeah.
And how we get better at it, I think.
Yes.
I assume, anyway, I assume that would be a good reason to talk about time management, not like, how bad we are about it and, who cares. So to do actually some sort of productive and proactive methods of getting our time in order and making the most of it, because, it's the one thing that none of us have enough of, right?
Yeah, we all have the same amount of time. It is how we use it.
We do indeed.
How we use it. So most of us do sleep, not all of us.
Are you a good time manager, Sondra? I think I'm getting better. I'm getting a little bit more organized with mine. But, it's never been a strong point of mine down the years.
Well, I'm great at helping others. So yeah, mine definitely could use some work. For sure could use some improvements. But yeah, it's definitely something that I'm one of those that I can't have it super scheduled because then I get like anxious if I'm not following the exact schedule. So I have to find that balance of flexibility and schedule. And as a mama and a grandma, there's still gonna be flexibility. Like there's just not a choice in that matter. But the reason I started my business was time freedom, time flexibility. So Friday I worked from the hospital in the afternoon after my friend's surgery. While they were in recovery, I sat on my laptop and got what I needed to get done. And I definitely would not have been doing that when I used to work my day job. Like
No,
I would have had to take the day off and stress about coming back and So yeah, I definitely think I feel time is a currency. So how you use it is how you're going to get paid. So I would love to hear how people manage time. Are you good at it? Are you bad at it? Do you need to improve? What tips do you have? Let's go, Peter.
I mean, well, generally, I'm not too bad with time management. I'll always get somewhere early, especially if I'm meeting people or a meeting or something I have to be at, I'm there early. But I think that before we can talk about managing time, you probably need to go through the process of eliminating the things that are a waste of time. Because you actually find that there's a lot of things that you do that generally are just a waste of time. And if you think that managing your time is going to allow you to complete all the things that you want to do, the answer is probably not. So I think the first thing to go through is eliminating the things that are actually just a waste of time. If it's something that you enjoy doing and it's self-care, well, then obviously schedule it in. But if it's something that is kind of pointless, something you might not need to do or something you can delegate, get rid of it. Get rid of it because you want to manage as little as possible. You want to have a comfortable schedule because I think, I mean, earlier on, Sondra, you were saying you don't want a strict schedule. You want something that's slightly flexible. And I think if you've got too much to do, then you have to have this strict regimented, and you have to be on the minute, on the money every single time. But I think when you start eliminating things and going through that process, the more you can farm out and the more you can eliminate, the more flexible you can actually make your schedule. And then I think if you add on top of that, the fact that not everybody can automatically wake up every day and remember exactly what it is they're supposed to do and at what time. So funnily enough, today I actually downloaded Google Tasks. Strangely enough, I have 5 tasks on there already for the remainder of the day. But I think when you've got something that clearly lays out what it is that you have to do, it actually makes it easier to get it done because you can visually see it. You don't get to the end of the day and you're like, oh my goodness me, I forgot that one thing. So I think it's a balance of eliminating and finding a clear space to actually list what it is that you have to do. Now, I hate the word lists. They drive me nuts. I don't want to make them. I don't want to create them. I don't want to follow them. But I've come to realize that it actually just makes your life so much easier. So that's Peter, one of the co-founders of Explore ProTech. That's me over and out with that little bit of advice.
I'm a bit like I'm a scheduler because I find if I don't schedule, I don't do it. And I found that like once I got my CRM, my customer relationship management tool, putting things in that I need to do, like LinkedIn.
We lost.
We lost you.
Because
You
otherwise
lost your
it
sound.
cuts.
You lost your sound.
You lost my sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
You lost my sound.
Well, you're back.
We can hear, yeah, we can hear you now.
So
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I don't know what happened. I think it might be the internet, which who knows? Maybe the cloud of the internet went away. Hopefully it has returned. I was just talking. I need to schedule. Basically, that was what I was saying. There's anything more profound about that? Otherwise, I don't get it done. So, Permelia, tell us your thoughts about this.
So I have done a few things different for. Why am I hearing an echo? Are you hearing an echo? I'm hearing 2 of me.
No.
Yes, I'm hearing an echo, and the only other person unmuted is you, James. So I think maybe we're hearing Permelia through your speakers.
Okay, how's that now? All right, that's better. Yeah, so for going forward with 2024, I really wanted to have more managing of getting projects done and getting tasks done. And so following Sondra's wonderful workshop that she offered to us back in December, I have taken her goal action list, and because I have 3 companies, so I have 3 piles. So I've done the goal action list for each company and what needs to be done. The other thing that I did was I went through my planner, both my electric planner and also my day book, because I need both. And definitely my electric planner, where I send them my calendar link and they can book in to have a meeting with me. I went in and I've cleared off part of my day during the week. So not every day, but like Tuesday afternoon or Monday afternoon, for example, Friday afternoon. Wednesday is one of my companies that I want to work on. So I'm just dedicating that day for that. Maybe hop into a networking Zoom call at lunch or something. But other than that, so I've kind of put the time as to which projects I need to work on, and I've cleared my calendar so that I've actually got time to do that. So we're only into the second week of January, and it hasn't perfectly worked, but I'm working toward that. Yeah.
Permelia, tell us about your business, or one of your
Oh,
businesses, whichever one you want to do.
Well, this one, yes, Permelia Parham from the west coast of Canada. So it's really still morning here. And the Healing Institute is a virtual global hub of holistic practitioners. And so we are looking to heal the world. We have a platform for holistic practitioners, and the website, when clients go to the website, they can easily find a practitioner either by clicking on a modality that the practitioner does. They won't see the practitioner right away, but the modality, they'll find the practitioner, or in the search bar, whatever they're having an issue. So sleep, for example, if sleep is an issue for you, you type that into the search bar and all the practitioners that help with sleep will pop up. So thank you.
Awesome.
Yes.
Love that, Permelia. Yes, an amazing resource. And I do love that you're using tools from the workshop, because that is one thing when I teach, I want practical tools for people to use. So thank you for putting those in practice. Love that. Yes, Google Task, Peter, can be your friend if you embrace it and don't get mad at it. Okay, so I always tell people you have to find the method that works for you. So what works for Peter, what works for Permelia, what works for James, what works for me, they're going to be different. There's millions of tools out there. So you got to figure out what works best for you. Some people need to make it a game, Peter, where like, I'm going to race to get 5 tasks done, and then I'm going to go play my favorite game or whatever. So some people have to make it a game. Some people have to be like James, where he's like, everything has to be scheduled. Permelia, I like each business has a day or a portion of a day. I have somebody that has 4 businesses plus a mom, twins, so we portioned her days. So like this half of a day is for this and that. So at least she had that guiding her along with her standing appointments. So I've seen it done many different ways. Mr. L, you are a man of many talents. So time management, how do you get it done?
I just don't do them. How's that? I just want to say to Peter, you need Permelia. And you know what I'm talking about, right? You need her. Permelia, there's another client for you. Lack of sleep, we know that. So I just want to encourage, I think, YouTube watchers or YouTubers, whoever they are, or even members who haven't watched the previous shows, to actually go watch them. Because in December, we spoke about preparation for 2024, what you do, you prepare, and how you prepare for it as well. And then I think last week we spoke about taking care of yourself as an entrepreneur, right? Now, if you have done that, if you have prepared and you have taken care of yourself, you rested well and all that, your tasks will not overwhelm you because you have done the preparation, you know, because managing your time is really to make sure that as an entrepreneur, you don't get overwhelmed by your tasks and get stressed and not reach your goals. Okay, that's why time has got to be managed. And I think just one point, Peter, you mentioned it, when you go to meetings, you go early. You'd rather go earlier than arrive there right on time or 5 minutes later. And I just want to also encourage everyone, don't waste anybody's time. Don't be late for meetings. And waffling through the topics when you present and all that doesn't help. Yes, there's a sweet talk in the beginning and all that, but that's about it. Present, get it done, and get out of there, because you are wasting somebody else's time, and you actually are wasting your own time as well. And that's why you will not be able to finish all your tasks, or let me just call them tasks. Yeah, you'll not be able to finish all of them. So try not to waste other people's time. That for me is very important. Rather arrive there early. If they can see you earlier, even better. And then you're out of there in a jiffy. You are able to now go and carry on with your other tasks in a more relaxed way than stressing. I mean, imagine if you have to do proposals. You won't have enough time to do all the proposals if you go out wasting time. Thank you for this opportunity. This is Lesetja Mokou from Litmok, and we are your business development specialists.
I agree with that. I think it's always it's a pleasure, isn't it, when people turn up on time to chat to you, and everyone gets everything done the way they need to get it done within the framework of your half an hour meeting or whatever you've booked. It's annoying as hell, to be honest with you, when people are like 10 minutes late. So, oh, got your coffee. Okay, great. Do it before. I agree with you. And this is someone who was late for quite a long time, so I know how annoying that is on the other side. I have tried to stop doing that now because it's irritating when it's done to you. So I can't agree with you more there. Let's see. Who else have we got to tell us about the way they manage their time or would like to manage their time? Hendrick, am I going to have to drag you into this? You know I am.
Good evening, everyone. Not a problem, James. I think my way of managing my time is in whatever I'm doing, I need to set, or I actually set milestones, achievements. That way I am able to track my time, because if I give myself a certain period to complete a certain task, once I reach that that milestone or that achievement, I get to reflect on the fact that, am I still on par with my time, or do I need to pull up my socks and try to shed a few of the jobs or tasks that I have to do so that I can catch up. Lately, for example, I've been struggling, not exactly struggling, but for a lack of a better word, I'll use struggling with my time, to an extent that I even ended up rejecting a mentorship program with Menkosa. And I said it to them that once I've got everything figured out, I've got more time to do things, I'll definitely be applying for it. But at the moment, I'm struggling with with what I'm busy with currently. That's Hendrick from Tirasano Earth Movers, your lifting and rigging company from Mpumalanga.
Thanks, Hendrick. And I think you said something that's really important. It's good to know what time you have and your value of your time and what's important and what's not important. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say this doesn't fit into my goals right now. I don't have the time, bandwidth. I said bandwidth this morning. I said, I don't have the bandwidth to add that to my plate right now. It's a great program. Mine was a challenge that my business coach is doing. I was like, that's great. I know it's a great program. Right now, it does not fit into my schedule. And she's like, that's good. You know that. So I think it's very important as far as your time goes, knowing what you do and what don't want to do. Gareth was kind of saying that on the YouTube live, you know, that he really has to work on making sure he makes the most of every moment, but not stressing over the fact that he could have done more. And I hear that very often. A particular co-owner of Explore ProTech kind of had that this last couple of days. And I'm like, no, you were doing plenty. Like, so, and I think Peter brought it up too about delegating and not taking on everybody else's task and delegating things. I think that's also important. I teach that when I teach brain dump. You know, delegation is the first thing. I'm like, not pick what your tasks are, your top 3 tasks, but the first thing is what can you take off your plate? So, Peter, come on in.
Yeah, I think something we need to realize is that at the end of the day, we're human. We can only do what we have the ability to do within the amount of time that we have. If we fill our time with tasks, we will be permanently busy. And sometimes being permanently busy is not conducive to actually getting somewhere. You know, it's about finding the tasks that matter, finding the things that actually need to be done, finding a way of delegating what you can delegate. Because at the end of the day, do we want to manage our time to get more done? Or do we want to manage our time so that we can actually live the life that we wanted to live when we decided to become entrepreneurs in the first place? So there is a balance there. You know, a lot of people think, oh, great, I'm going to get a time management tool, which means I'm going to be able to fit more in and do more. Hold your high horses. You will burn out very quickly. I think for me, my method was don't sweat the small stuff. Just don't sweat it. It's not worth it. For things that need to be achieved that you can delegate, well, then strategically build relationships with people that do those things. And I don't mean just hire somebody to do it. I mean build an actual relationship with somebody that actually does that. The kind of relationship where you can pick up the phone and WhatsApp and go, hey, Sondra. Me and Sondra do that all the time. It's, you know, where I can message, hey, Somerville, we were busy with this. How far is that? And make it a two-way street. Don't make it a everybody else does something for me. Make it a everybody does things for me, but I do things for other people too, because now I'm helping them with their time. And you will find very quickly that the whole fight is to reclaim your time, to make your time your own. And you need to manage that process. And you want to end up doing the things that you were specifically given the gifts to do. So if I am talented at one particular task, but now I've got all these other tasks that I'm not really gifted at doing, I surround myself with people that are gifted at doing those tasks. It doesn't mean I don't have to manage making sure that it gets done. It just means that I might not be the one doing it. So when you do get to the point where you are actually managing the things that are important to do, you'll actually find that you can actually reclaim your time. You actually can. It's And I think it's really important to do that because there is a balance between getting as much done as possible and actually living a particular lifestyle. So I think you want to find that balance, because then you have purpose. You're doing the things that you are good at doing. You're managing the time that you spend on doing those things that you're good at doing, and your business is healthy because all the other things that you might not be good at doing are getting done through the relationships that you build. So I think it's very important to find that balance. Don't just think, oh, I've got a management tool, now I can work 24/7. Please don't do that.
I was talking earlier on today about outsourcing, and I love it. Obviously, it's the best time saver that there is. And I would do it with everything that I could if I had the money to give it to the people I want to give it to. It's just finding that balance. For instance, I love doing voiceovers. I don't particularly love editing big long things like audiobooks. I would pass that. That takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. There are people who will do that faster and better than me, in order to save some of the money that one would get from a commission like that. Often I do that myself. But once you get to a point where you've raised your business to make it worthwhile to outsource all of that, I mean, it's a no-brainer, because you're going to get someone who's better at it. The product will be better, and it'll justify the cost, and you'll save the time. So yeah, I think outsourcing is a wonderful thing. I want to do it with everything eventually, except for me. That's really what I would love to do. I think that would be wonderful. Lesetja, prime in for us.
Thanks, James. I just want to give an example of these tasks. And what Peter said, what you also mentioned, James, about delegating. I'm organizing a golf day now, okay, for May or June. We haven't set a date yet. I don't know anything about golf. I want to organize this day for fundraising, but I don't know about golf. I haven't played golf. So what am I going to do? Find somebody that'll be interested in playing golf and say, well, help me. And that person will actually help you. Their interest is playing golf. And they will gladly help you because they want to go and play golf. So I'm giving them an opportunity to go and play, but they help me to organize, because they give me all the terminology and that I don't know, how to organize it, who to call and all that, because they know that. So it is true. If you surround yourself with people that are specialists or are able to help you with certain tasks, why not? And what we also need to remember is your Google tasks is yours. So you can change it around. It's not as if you can't change something so that you are able to do something else earlier than the other one. You can change it around. It's yours to manage, as long as you don't get stressed. There we go.
Love that. Love that. Yes, whatever tool you use is yours. Now, if you are working with a team, there is definitely some communication, how you use the tool and who, where, what, when, and how. I know Peter and I are using a spreadsheet. I'm like very particular. I'm like, who does this column? Who does this column? He just like, rah, rah, rah. And I'm like, no, I need to know exactly what columns I'm supposed to fill in. So the communication works both ways. So that's definitely a good one. As far as outsourcing and delegating, yes, James, everybody has their zone of genius. So yours is doing the voiceover, not the editing. Like, I'm sure you can do the editing, but time-wise, like you said, it takes less time for somebody else to do it. So money and time, you really got to think that through. So I know I can do graphics. It's going to take me twice as long as Somerville. Like, Somerville can do a graphic like that. I'm not going to do a graphic like that and make it look professional. It's going to take me a day or two. So I definitely love knowing what my zone of genius is and other zone of geniuses. So I know Peter's a connector. Like, he could do that in a heartbeat. If I ask Peter to fill out a spreadsheet or a document, might take him a little bit longer. So definitely knowing that. And like Mr. L was saying, planning an event that is not his expertise. So bring in the people that are going to help them. So definitely really important to know what you're good at and what other people are good at so you can bring in your resources. I love the tribe for that. We have lots and lots and lots and lots of resources. And I've built out my own network in other places. So I have resources. Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I rarely find something that I can't find somebody to help with. I'm getting to that point and super grateful for that. I thought I was stumped last week and then somebody was like, da, 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 da. And I was like, oh yeah, your goal is as a book cover. Anyways, I was like, oh yeah, you do that. So I'm going to outsource to her. So I love that. I love it. Permelia, I know you delegate, of course.
I just wanted to say, I just wanted to talk about what Hendrick was talking about in knowing when you don't have the time. So then I think that's so important. It's so important for yourself and also for someone asking you to do a task or to be part of a community of some kind. And if you don't have time to do it, but you say yes because you don't want to say no, then you're going to feel frustrated when you are running out of time to do other things. So I think that's was just really an important point. I just wanted to give Hendrick a thumbs up because a lot of people don't know when they have the opportunity to say no or not right now, or I'll do it, I'll do it when I have time. So I think I just wanted to make that comment. Also, yes, definitely outsourcing. I think that's, I have a virtual assistant now, which I honestly love and have wanted to have one for quite a while. And we got connected last year, just before the new year started last year. And then her son had a very serious snowboarding accident and ended up in the children's hospital. He's 15. So he had some brain injury. He's all good now. So just to let you know, but she had to be with him for 6 months and she didn't live in the city where the children's hospital was. So that was a lot of commuting for her back and forth, but she's back. It's just amazing. The admin things that she takes off my plate that I don't, I can do them because I can do admin till my eyes crossed, but I've got bigger fish to fry. So I really think that's important. Outsourcing, I think whenever you can do that, as much as you can do that, I think that's very, very, very important. Yeah. All right. That's all I have to say. Permelia Parham. My other company that I want to mention is Vibrational Healing. And that's where I do my modality of emotion code and body code work. So this is looking at emotions that are trapped in your subconscious, and we release them so that you can be healthy. And Peter hasn't taken advantage of that yet, but I did a session for Nadine, so she can easily say how that went. All right, thanks.
Peter can say how that went for him, I guess.
I got to sit in the background while Nastine was having a session with Permelia, and as luck would have it, I was sitting in the background and I was playing a game on my PlayStation, which is first-person shooter. We get together, we shoot each other up, and you get so caught up in your own little world that you forget that somebody's actually doing a session like 2 meters away, and they were busy having a conversation, and I just burst out because something happened in the game. I think somebody killed me, and I just burst out in this language. I was like, that's absolute bullshit. And then it was funny at the time. It was funny at the time. But I got to see the results of that particular meeting, which was great, which was absolutely great. And it was good for Nastine as well. So
it's actually funnier now, Peter.
it's funnier now. But I was so worried at the time that you would think I was talking about what you guys were talking about.
No. We knew what you were doing. Nadine told me. Don't just ignore him.
Yeah, he's shooting people. something I wanted to mention, and I think it's very important. The whole idea of creating a space where you actually need to manage time, because if you're not growing, you don't need to manage your time. You just keep doing what you're doing and you'll be fine, and you'll just carry on and you'll do the same thing over and over, and there's no growth. Everything's okay with the world. If you are growing, which means that your time becomes more scarce, there's more to do. And as there's more to do, there is now a need to manage that time so that you can get said jobs done and completed. And I think this would be the perfect opportunity to mention the people in the background that actually do the things that are required in this space. So if I look at the screen right now, Sondra and James took over hosting the Coffee Shop Conversation show. Why? I don't have the time. And like Permelia, I've got bigger fish to fry. Sorry, let me just kill that. I've got bigger fish to fry. I've got bigger things to do. So why not create an opportunity where everybody wins? It doesn't always have to be a financial thing. Oh, I need this, pay for it. Oh, I need that, pay for it. Create an opportunity that is an equal opportunity for all people involved, and everybody benefits and everybody wins and everybody gets what they need. In order to do so, you have to have relationships with multiple people so that you can strategically figure out who needs what. How do I give them what they need? How do I get what I need in return? How do we do this together? If you can't do that, stick to your management software and do your best. Just keep doing your best. But if I look at people like Susan in the background, she does what she does at every single show. She gets mentioned in every single show, but she turns it into the Spotify in the background. Somerville, when in regards to running the GOSN event, she facilitates everything in the background. If I look at the coaches in the Ignite program, we arrive, we start, we initiate, and then the coaches deliver. Could we do that all just ourselves? Yeah, probably. Would we have enough time to do it? Hell no. Could we have gone as far as we did without each other? No, definitely not. So, I mean, people like Stephen Levy, Linda Dent, Megan Deers, Somerville, Natasha, oh my goodness me, these people are absolutely incredible. Declan Williams. All these people play different roles in a space where they're doing different things to grow one space. Could I have done that by myself? Not by a country mile. Not by a country mile. It frees me up to do the thing that I am good at doing. It gives them the opportunity to do the things that they are good at doing. And there needs to be that sort of symbiosis. If it doesn't exist, you've got the wrong friends. If that does not exist in your world, you are surrounded by the wrong people. Stick to your software. It might get you there. But for me, I think the software is to manage what you cannot delegate, what you cannot have other people do, what you cannot, and you need those professionals around you. So if you don't, do yourself a favor, get them, meet them, talk to them. It should make your life a whole lot easier.
I love that. I love that, Peter. Just talk to Peter. He'll connect you with the right people. Well, wait, don't ask him yet because I'm on the list of connecting to the right people. So let him do mine first. Just easy. Yes, I definitely think that it's important to surround yourself, and you can also outgrow a community. This one's going to probably step on some people's toes, but you can outgrow a community. If community is not growing and if the right people are not in that community, you have my permission to leave. And I know that can definitely hurt other people's feelings, you know, hurt people's pocketbooks, whatever. And as somebody that's a caretaker, high feelings person, I struggled with that, especially in the beginning of my business. Like, you know, I'm loyal, I'm committed, I'm going to stay here because that's, you know, that's where I'm supposed to be. Or one person or two people are helping me, but nobody else is. And we're all in the same boat and we're not growing because we don't have the right people. So definitely, evaluate that on a quarterly basis because that is part of quarterly reviews. I definitely talk about that. What communities are you in? What are your resources? Who do you need to update? I love doing quarterly coffee chats with people to know what's new, what's going on. I've had people that have changed businesses, added businesses, don't longer do that, you know, so I need to change my resource list. So I definitely think that you need to visit that on a quarterly basis. Gareth is very active on YouTube, so I want to give him a shout out for sure. And he was talking about outsourcing, and I said, you know, one of the good things about outsourcing is that it gets it off your plate, but you also get processes and procedures set up so that they can help you, which is also going to help you move your business. So definitely something that I love to help people get going and get doing so that they do not feel stuck. As Peter said, we want people to grow for sure, for sure. Come on in, Permelia.
So I just wanted to mention too that when we're talking about outsourcing, oftentimes you can do a trade. So if you don't have the money for it, think of who you can connect with and who you can trade. So for example, as I was saying, the virtual assistant that I had hired last year, when her son got sick, I all of a sudden didn't have anyone to do graphics, like our business logo behind me. So at the time, Sondra was part of our network, part of our platform. And so we did a trade. So she could come in and help me with what I needed, which was not a lot at the time, but it was just enough to get it off my plate. And that was so, it really relieved me of any worry or stress that I had at the time. So I really appreciated the fact that she was able to do that for the Healing Institute, and also gave me a few more tools that I didn't know about. So I think we need to always kind of consider who's available and who are we helping. So my virtual assistant's brand new. Well, she was a year ago. She was brand new. And so I'm, you know, by working with me, and I've been in businesses for many, many, many years, that I can kind of coach her. So yes, you know, I pay her, but it's also part of her mentoring program that I can coach her to do. So, and she's got a lot of background for admin work in corporations and companies, but not for entrepreneurial. And she just started her own entrepreneurial business. So it's a win-win for both of us. The other thing I wanted to just mention is that, you know, it's very good for people to help other people get started. I've been a mentor for many different people over the years. I had an office center many years ago, and so there was a college and a school that people that were graduating from their program on how to be an office assistant, they needed to do practicum work. Come help me in my office. So that was a win-win for everybody. And then I also had an event planning company, and there was a college where after you took the course, people needed a practicum. Well, I set myself up so that I could help. The college help the graduates that needed that extra piece before they could actually become certified. And it was a win-win for me, because actually I ended up hiring, after their practicum time was over, I actually ended up hiring them to be my assistant because they were so good at it. So yeah, I think it's definitely a win-win for everybody when we reach out and we can help and we can help other people. So that's all I have to say for that. Still, Permelia Parham with the Healing Institute, and looking forward to being available for people to come, clients to come to the Healing Institute and connect with our practitioners so they can be well and stay well on their health journey. Thank you.
Thanks, Permelia. And plenty of hands up at the moment, and we're running out of time, so I shall move swiftly on. Back to Peter.
Well, I just thought it would be a great opportunity, seeing as though Gareth is quite busy on YouTube, watching in the background. It's another prime example of how to save yourself time. I mean, I'm not a website builder. You ask me to build a website and you're going to get Lego land. It's just not going to happen. And Nastine is not a website builder. She can build something basic, but she's not a website builder. And getting together with Gareth and having that conversation, and actually having the conversation, what do you need? What do I need? When I got a message now, just a little bit before the show, where he was like, "Hey, I've gone through your website. I've found a couple of things that need to be fixed. I've found this that doesn't work. I found that I would never have found that. I'm not a website builder." And I think it's just a prime example of surrounding yourself with people that actually can save you the time and are professional at doing exactly what they do. That's a time saver for me. It's an opportunity for Gareth. And I think that's the win-win. So, I mean, if you are going to manage your time, at least manage the things that you actually need to manage. Not everything. Not everything. I just thought I'd mention that. Hey, Gareth, shout out.
I love that. I love that, Peter. And by note, and I've done that too, where especially when I do coffee chats, I'll check their website and click on links, and I'll be like, hey, during the coffee, it's a free call, like we're networking. I'll be like, hey, by the way, this doesn't go anywhere, or this link's dead, or whatever. And people are like, oh my gosh, thank you. Because yeah, tech happens. I built my first funnel last week for a client, and I got so lost, and finally was like, help, SOS. Knew somebody. I'm like, I'll pay you. She did it in 10 minutes. She's like, I'm not charging you my hour fee for 10 minutes of work to get it done. So I was super grateful, because I was like, he wants to launch it on Saturday. Can we make it? And we did. It's launched. A few bugs, like you said, sometimes you just don't see things, so I have to work on that today. But I love that. I love that. And Gareth says hello, Peter, on YouTube. Mr. Al, we will go to you, and then we will start wrapping up.
Certainly. I just want to, Permelia mentioned it about, people helping each other. And I've found when you help somebody with something, you actually in return also learn. You learn so much about other businesses, you learn so much about other people, and you learn about your work as well when you help other people. It's such a win-win that you maybe don't recognize it, but it's there. You also learn. And if I help somebody with something, I feel so good about it. That's just somebody that drives me a bit forward to say, I have helped this person with that. I'm happy. I feel grateful. That just is how I want to see myself all the time, happy in helping other people. And of course, not being taken advantage of, but just help, push, see other people succeeding. That just makes me feel good. And then when I'm happy, my time is sorted. I don't have to stress about time because I'm happy.
And if we're happy, everything feels a lot better. I think we can all agree with that. That's for sure. What are we doing, Sondra? We got time for one more, or are we wrapping? Like they do in those videos sometimes.
We will wrap up. Go ahead.
We wrapping, yo. I'm not going to do that again because that was just dad stuff. Which
I'm sorry, I have to pop off early. I have a client in 7 minutes, and I just need to get ready for the client. But this was delightful conversation. So thanks again, and see you next week.
It's delightful to have you, Permelia, as always.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Right, wrapping then. Thank you very much, everybody, for contributing. It's always useful to again have some practical tips and insight on how we can make ourselves a bit more efficient. And time management is certainly one that we can all benefit from, I think. So thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Thank you very much for hosting with me, as always, Sondra, and controlling everything in a fabulous way while I had technical difficulties. I've been James of James Brown Voice, your voiceover with soul, and see you all next week.
Thanks, James. Tech is great when tech works. So definitely. A couple announcements. The Goslin event, which is Explore ProTech's international networking event, one of a kind, I can honestly say. Peter runs it very uniquely. So make sure to click on the link in the show notes, because I know Susan, amazing Susan, will drop that in the show notes along with timestamps. And then, yes, she will then not move it. She will also make a podcast out of it on Spotify. The words today. So make sure you check us out on Spotify. Please share, like, rate us on Spotify. Everything helps us, helps you, so that we can reach more entrepreneurs. And I'm Sondra Ray. I'm the owner of Get It Done Coaching, and I help people reach their goals by creating amazing things like brain dumping spreadsheets, task management, quarterly reviews, help you figure out how to outsource, all those things and everything in between. So as Miss Nestine always says, the other amazing owner of Explore ProTech, we wish you have all your wildest entrepreneur dreams come true. And we will see you same time, same place next week.